we are kicking things off with a massive confrontation at the highest levels of academia. The most viewed congressional exchange in recent memory has landed us right here, as Congresswoman Elise Stefanik confronted the presidents of Harvard, MIT, and the University of Pennsylvania following horrific scenes on their campuses after the invasion of Israel. This is a deep dive into what happened when the stakes were highest, and the rhetoric exploded on American university grounds.
Here's a simple way to protect your phone without stress. This ALEN 3-pack comes with tempered glass screen protectors, camera lens protectors, and an installation frame for an easier, cleaner fit. It's clear, case-friendly, and built to help guard against scratches and everyday bumps. Check the link in the comments to get it on Amazon.
Next up, we turn our attention to the legal battles shaking up the retail world. Stephen Moore reveals the escalating lawsuit fad, where companies are being sued for predatory pricing. And we look at the Main Street competition coalition's push to outlaw volume discounts under the Robinson-Patman Act. Find out how this fight is reshaping the landscape for big box retailers and what it means for your wallet. The geopolitical stage is set for another high-stakes gamble. Joe Canasson breaks down why Donald Trump's recent negotiations with Iran are looking incredibly unlikely to succeed. We examine the profound incompetence displayed by Vice President J.D. Vance, Jared Kushner, and Steve Witkoff as they attempt to broker a peace deal that the world seems determined to keep off the table. And finally, a warning from the digital frontier. Anthropic has unleashed a new AI tool called Mythos with unprecedented hacking capabilities, and lawmakers are sounding the alarm. Congressman John Joyce is sounding the warning bells, and we explore why this new technology is forcing a critical conversation about national security and what we need to know right now. Stay with us for the full story. American universities have faced intense scrutiny following the October 7th Hamas attack on Israel, with congressional hearings highlighting the institutional response to widespread anti-Semitism on campuses. The most prominent recent instance involved New York Congresswoman Elise Stefanik calling Harvard, MIT, and the University of Pennsylvania presidents to testify in December 2023 regarding the explosion of anti-Jewish demonstrations following the invasion. The context for these hearings was severe. 2 months after Hamas militants invaded Israel from Gaza, resulting in the killing of 1,200 Israelis, widespread mutilation, and kidnapping, a climate of extreme hostility emerged on American campuses. Reports indicate that faculty at elite institutions praise the violence and calls for violence against Jewish people, including slogans referencing Hitler, proliferated, leading to physical barriers, the display of swastikas, and the establishment of a Jewish exclusion zone on one campus. Surveys reveal that 42% of Jewish students report encountering anti-Semitism, and 1/3 hide their identity due to fear. Stefanik pressed the university presidents on whether calling for the genocide of Jews violated their codes of conduct. Instead of definitive answers, the presidents responded that the permissibility of such rhetoric depended on the context. Stefanik has detailed these proceedings in her book, Poisoned Ivies, the inside account of the academic and moral rot at America's elite universities. Commentators emphasize the critical role of these hearings in exposing perceived double standards among university administrations. Kenneth Marcus of the Brandeis Center for Human Rights Under Law noted that the hearings revealed how presidents applied different standards based on whether the complaints originated from Jewish students or other groups, positioning the hearings as a crucial check against campus anti-Semitism. The report also contextualizes the political maneuvering surrounding the issue, noting that Democratic pollsters have largely avoided accusing Israel of genocide to maintain political viability, contrasting this with Republican documentation of campus rot. The significance of these congressional exchanges is underscored by the historical precedent of impactful hearings, such as those involving Joseph Welch and Oliver North's attorney, demonstrating the power of public accountability through legislative oversight. A new legal battleground is emerging in the United States as lawyers begin suing major corporations, including retailers like Walmart and McDonald's, alleging monopolistic behavior through predatory pricing. This practice, termed predatory pricing, involves setting prices so low that competitors cannot sustain their operations, potentially leading to legal action against large firms. Central to this legal push is the lobbying effort by the Main Street Competition Coalition, led by former small and mid-size grocery chain lobbyists and a Biden administration official, to outlaw volume discounts under the 1936 Robinson-Patman Act, RPA. The RPA was originally designed to protect independent stores from competition by chain stores offering bulk discounts, but it has long been viewed as an outdated New Deal measure. This renewed focus on the RPA is fueled by a shift in political and regulatory dynamics. Following changes in the Federal Trade Commission, with the Trump FTC dropping previous cases and the Biden FTC under Chair Lina Khan focusing on broader fairness enforcement, activists are now pivoting to the courtroom as a means to dismantle pricing discounts. Antitrust experts suggest the RPA could result in significant settlements against big-box retailers accused of price discrimination, potentially forcing customers to pay higher prices. Proponents of competitive discounts argue that volume-based pricing and supply chain efficiencies, exemplified by retailers like Walmart, are crucial drivers of free markets and help families save money on essential goods. They contend that prosecuting cost-cutting is fundamentally flawed and risks increasing consumer costs. Conversely, critics warn that reviving the RPA could severely harm consumers, particularly low-income and rural families. A study suggests that such a revival could cause grocery prices to spike by 5% to 10%, adding over $500 annually to the typical family's grocery bill, undermining the cost relief provided by large-volume retailers. The issue is highlighted by local disputes, such as the situation in New York, where a distributor's decision to cease direct deliveries to independent grocers has led to higher prices for consumers, sparking RPA concerns. Political leaders are debating legislation to control chain favoritism in grocery pricing. Analysts suggest that while previous regulatory actions have targeted various industries, this lawsuit wave signals a new strategy to punish firms offering low-cost prices. Advocates call for unity between Republicans and Democrats to counter this effort, arguing that the legal doctrine underpinning the RPA is obsolete and that efficiency and scale should continue to reward innovation in the marketplace. Vice President J.D. Vance has returned to Islamabad with Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff to resume peace negotiations with Iran, though experts predict the talks are highly unlikely to succeed. The report suggests the outlook remains dim, with little expectation of a viable agreement in the near term. The analysis points to a fundamental lack of the necessary qualities among the involved parties to achieve a complex diplomatic resolution. The commentary critiques the approach of President Trump and his team, citing arrogance, ignorance, impatience, and incompetence as major obstacles. The author argues that the administration's decision to engage in military action against Iran was a historic and flawed mistake, leaving the administration stuck in a difficult quagmire. The piece highlights Trump's inability to define clear negotiation terms, his dismissive attitude toward European allies, and his failure to build the necessary international coalition, contrasting this with the strategy employed by his predecessor, Barack Obama. Furthermore, the report questions the competence of the negotiators themselves, suggesting that figures like Witkoff and Kushner lack the requisite skills for high-stakes diplomacy. It emphasizes that Trump's lack of integrity, evidenced by past actions, undermines any chance of securing a lasting peace agreement, as the Iranians have demonstrated a deep distrust of his commitments. The author concludes that any potential outcome is likely to be self-serving for Trump and his associates. Anthropic, an artificial intelligence company, has reportedly developed a new AI tool named Mythos, which has raised significant concerns due to its alleged unprecedented hacking capabilities. In a move that has prompted alarm among lawmakers, the creators have chosen not to release the tool to the public. The development of Mythos has brought heightened scrutiny to the rapidly evolving landscape of artificial intelligence and its potential risks. Congressman John Joyce voiced his concern regarding the broader integration of AI into daily life, citing examples such as AI screening applications for car loans and its use in medical practices for authorization decisions. Joyce stressed the need for caution as AI expands across state and federal levels, emphasizing the importance of staying informed and listening to constituents' input. He further indicated that additional information regarding these developments, particularly concerning the financial institute arena and AI usage in loan eligibility assessments, would be forthcoming from his office in the coming weeks.